Hey, welcome into another episode of the Seahawks Show with your host, Todd Fox. Look, it's never easy talking about a loss. This one was an epic loss, unfortunately. And it was on Sunday Night Football because we were flexed because of COVID problems with the Tampa Bay game. Seattle was in prime time, so everyone got to see this game. This game was crazy from the start. I've got all kinds of highlights to break down. I know it's not easy to chew on the loss, but let's just go over this together. I had some points from my last video that I discussed what would go right if they did this, if what would go wrong, and it seemed like I was right on both. And unfortunately, I just wasn't right on the score. So 2 out of 3, I would rather take the score, but this one unfortunately didn't go the Seahawks' way. And as we sit now, we're not 6-0 heading into the 49er game like I hoped we were and expected we were, but we're 5-1, and I'll let you know why we're 5-1. And then there's an upside to everything, as we all know, and it goes week by week. So before I do, real quick, please like and subscribe to the page. Continue to follow, send me messages and comment. It really means a lot to me, so go Hawks. So let's get into this game a little bit. My first opening thoughts on this one is just the fact that Seattle blew a 10-point lead. A 10-point lead in the fourth quarter, and there's a couple plays in it that I'll highlight that basically if they just do their job, the game's over. And they let Kyler Murray do some things, and once again, this Seahawks team from last year, which killed them, was no pass rush. You know, whether it was the game they lost to Garoppolo and the Niners on the final week of the season, whether it was the game against the Packers last year in the playoffs where they lost, because they couldn't rush Aaron Rodgers and he had all day to throw, in a game they should have won as well. It's unfortunately we're 5 weeks in or 6 weeks in, and we still don't have a dominant pass rush. And in this game, they literally laid 2 hands on Kyler Murray all game. It was pathetic, and the defense got worse as the game went on. So we'll see. So let's just check this out, and we'll start from the first quarter of this game, and hopefully you guys can follow along and I don't say something stupid. But here's the first drive of the Seahawks and Cardinals, and basically – this is a game where, again, before we start, Seattle had not lost a game in Arizona since 2012. Now, we know the last 3 years they've split with Arizona, in Seattle, or, they've lost 2 out of 3 in Seattle, but they've pretty much dominated Arizona in Arizona for whatever reason. But in this game, it was different. Now, check out this opening drive. I'm sure if you guys watch the game or not, but let me just break down a few of these plays.
Play from scrimmage sees Metcalf going to the slot to the right side. Keep an eye on number 14 tonight. He is tremendous. Wilson has protection. Wilson's going deep and reaching for it and making the one-handed grab is Tyler Lockett.
Now, on that play, Tyler Lockett makes a one-handed catch. Peterson's holding his arm the whole time down. One of the keys to the game that I said earlier in the week was I felt that they had to get Lockett involved because Lockett's been disappearing, as we knew, against the game against Minnesota. And prior to that, he just wasn't really filling up the stat sheet. Now, he made up for it in more ways than one. We'll get to his stats at the end of this video. But he had a killer game in all for naught. But let's watch as the drive continues.
From the 41, Wilson off the fake, bootleg throws. That's complete. Trying to pick up the first down, and doing so is Jacob Hollister.
Now, between Jacob Hollister, a couple catches from Olsen, and a couple catches from Disley, who played pretty good, the tight end was wide open all night, and I don't understand why they did not go to him more. 2 things would kill the Seahawks in this game, I think, offensively, especially in the second half. First half, I thought they played almost phenomenal. I mean, anytime you could score 27 points before halftime, that's great. However, second half, though, they got a little too cute with the offense and not too imaginative. And I think if they should have just went to the stuff that continued to work, they really didn't ride Carlos Hyde once Carson went down, and then they didn't utilize the tight ends as much as they should have because the tight ends were kicking ass in the beginning of the game. And then Carson's thumb injury, that kind of hurt things because although Carlos Hyde was running the ball, Seattle got away from the run.
You let him do his thing, and that's exactly what he has done.
But I'm way ahead of myself. But let's get back to these plays.
This year. He starts the game 4 for 4 for 6.
Here's Carson.
He hands the ball off here. Carson will take the ball inside the 5 and set up his 11th season watching his team try to finish off this early drive. And And Wilson will loft it for an easy touchdown to Tyler Lockett.
See, that's just cookies right there. Play action, that's the opening drive. So as a Seahawks fan, I'm sitting there, I'm like, all right, we're up 7-0. We're in good shape right here. Let's just continue to pile it on, right? And for a moment there, it was looking like this was going to be a Seattle rout.
Secondary, they're still minus Jamal Adams, and it's a big loss. And
look at that aggressive defense. In the first two quarters, if you notice the difference between the first two quarters, because the Seahawks offense was maintaining ball control and had a 2-1 advantage in time of possession, Seattle was doing everything right in the first half, just about. And their defense was flying around, and yeah, they weren't reaching the quarterback, but they were hitting guys. They weren't missing tackles. Second half, different story. So again, I'm ahead of myself because this game just fumed me, got me upset. It was one of those games you look at the end of the season. If you lose that division again, this is one you look back at like, damn, we should have still started 6-0.
Is taken care of immediately as the pass goes to Hopkins. Dunbar reads it perfectly. Who comes in?
Second drive right here looks promising.
In place of Allen, 3rd down and 10 now. Wilson with a deep drop in time and throws, and that's caught. And trying to get the first down and getting it is DK Metcalf.
Now, unfortunately, that was DK Metcalf's pretty much his only catch, for most of the game. And we'll get to the rest of his great, phenomenal game, too. I mean, the biggest play he made didn't end up in the stat sheet. But the fact of the matter is he was double-teamed a lot last night, but still, you got to get it to Metcalf as well. And I think that there was not enough, there was not enough confidence in Metcalf to throw a lob or something to get him try to break, make a play on Peterson, and watch, you'll see what happens. Here we go. So the drive continues.
In Wilson's career, it's basically been a hodgepodge up front.
David Moore.
First down for David Moore and a lot more. Still on his feet.
See what he did there, the pun? A lot more.
Metcalf goes to a wing on the right. Runs a crossing pass.
Now right here, you still got a lot of time to throw. I thought the offensive line, again, did a great job.
And Wilson looks there. Escapes a sack and then fires it out of bounds. 41-yard.
And this was nice to see too.
And Myers.
See, Myers had only 2 field goal attempts coming in. That was lowest in the league. They brought that up, that the fact that Myers has only kicked 2 field goals because they're so good in the red zone. Now, it's good to see that Myers came up there with 2 field goals and went 2 for 2 tonight, matching his season total in 5 games. That would have been great, but I would have loved for him to have kicked the 3rd and hopefully win the game in overtime, but that didn't happen. Again, getting way ahead of myself. So at that point, they're up 10-7, or I fast forward to 10-7 because I hate Arizona. They scored a touchdown. They earned it, so I'm not going to take it away. But they did get a help. They did get a no. Actually, no, they didn't. They actually got a couple penalties on that drive to continue, and they would actually have some penalties that would give them more life later in the game. But this is 10-7. This is another drive here. It's still in the first quarter by Seattle.
Hyde in the backfields.
That was all day.
Catch made by Tyler Lockett.
Who else?
Farm Stadium. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, the show before you. 2nd and 11 as Wilson throws here.
That was all day too. Olsen.
Defensive player of the week.
3rd and 5. Wilson fires.
There's the guy a little too cute.
In tonight's game.
Because on that drive, they went back-to-back run plays up the middle, and they just weren't getting anything at that point. Carson was gone, so he tried to go to Hyde on 3rd and 5. I thought that was too cute. I thought it would have been better to go to a tight end. Tight end, again, was raking, and here's Myers again. Because a lot of people forget, Myers did not come off the greatest season last year.
In a quarter and a couple of minutes as he has all season long, and he stays perfect.
So here's the play of the game, in my estimation. This should have won the game for the Seahawks because this is a 7-point swing right here. And at this point, it's 13-7. Seattle was driving. Everything was looking easy. They had gotten the ball back. You're gonna put the game out of the they're gonna put the game away. For some unknown godly reason, instead of Wilson actually throwing the ball to Carson right here with some zip, he just throws the laziest lob pass, and we haven't seen this all season. And I haven't seen this since he threw a pick to Marquez Peters at home last year against Baltimore. This is another lazy pass in the red zone. And watch our boy DK just make one of the most phenomenal plays. Now, Usain Bolt was clocked at 27 miles per hour in his prime. Metcalf on this play was clocked at 22 miles per hour. So that should tell you something. A guy who weighs almost 100 pounds more than Usain Bolt, who is a Jamaican, if you don't know, Jamaican track star, won several gold medals for probably one of the fastest human beings on earth. Metcalf, not too shabby himself, 22 miles per hour he was clocked at, and caught him. Look at where he gets him from.
Different receivers, and this time
he's way over there. Watch him go, dude.
Buda Baker out in front. Can Metcalf track him down? Can he chase him down? And he does to save a touchdown.
Now, at this point, I'm still thinking Arizona's going to score a touchdown. Obviously, I thought that was a phenomenal play by Metcalf. Metcalf's a beast. We all know that. I'm still saying that's a great play. Give the defense a chance, right? I was not expecting the defense to hold them. I was not expecting the Cardinals to go for it either on fourth down. I thought at very best, the Seahawks would only give up 3 points here and it'd be 13-10. And, we walk away because he saved 4 points. He saved 7 on this play.
But what a play by Baker.
Because on third down,
14 goal-to-go touchdowns this year, 14-14. Can they keep it perfect?
Tried to run it. Then on fourth down,
Fitzgerald in motion, and they will go for it. And Murray spinning around. He's all the way back at the 25 and throws up a prayer, and it's incomplete.
It doesn't.
Now again, here, this is just a couple plays later. You're sitting there at 1st and 10. You just got a 1st and 10. You got out of the little danger zone right here. There's 5:34 left to go in the second quarter. Look what Wilson does, and this is what I'm so happy that he's doing this year.
You can try, but it doesn't exist.
My point exactly. It's like, we're not going to talk about that. Meanwhile, he's off to the races here, and Russell Wilson takes it to midfield. Carlos Hyde is in. Damian Lewis is in the tent as he walked off the field.
Look at all that time. Tight end again.
Caught by Will Dissly. And Dissly, who got a touchdown in the last game that they played against Minnesota a couple of weeks ago on Sunday night.
But Russell Wilson's mindset, DK Metcalf, he probably is unstoppable.
Toss to Hyde. And Hyde will skirt the sideline before he steps out of bounds. Get Dwayne Brown leading the way. Hyde thinks he's into the end zone for a touchdown. The question is he?
Yes, Al Michaels, he was.
Ooh.
I'll
tell you what.
Wow.
So at that point, again, we fast forward. It's Arizona gets another touchdown. It's 20-14 at this point. The half is going to end, and Wilson again pulls out some tricks.
Football, throw it down the field, elusive guys. It's great fun.
New deal. Here goes Wilson again for his second long run. Slides to a stop near midfield. After Seattle takes its first time out. Blitz coming. It's picked up. Pass is caught. Tyler Lockett. A first down and a few more before he's out of bounds inside the 40-yard line.
I would think so.
Check out this pass.
Looks like man coverage, too.
Wilson retreating, and he's going to throw deep downfield, and it is Lockett for the touchdown.
Now, again, Seattle goes up 27-17 at this point. Seattle got the ball first to start the first half. So obviously the Cardinals will get the ball in the second half. Now that touchdown grab by Lockett at the end of the half puts them up 27-17. You're feeling pretty good at this point. Even though Arizona got a field goal before the end of the half to make it, a 10-point game, Arizona did nothing in the second half. Now here is one of the keys to the loss of this game. Because if Seattle takes the drive, their initial drive of the second half, and goes down the field like they were doing and finishes the job, Seattle goes up 34-17 or possibly 30-14. It messes with a team's head a little bit more. But this is what happened. Watch. It starts good.
Sideline, but holding his helmet. He hasn't been in for a while. Here goes Hyde around the left side. Where he got the touchdown earlier. Dwayne Brown.
Russell Wilson's success has opened the door for a lot of other guys to have opportunity.
Stepping down to 4. Pass is going to throw a dart for a first down here. A.J. Dallas is now in as the running back. Played his college ball at Miami. That pass is incomplete and broken up. Third down and 5.
To me, here's the key right here. Here's the key right here. This is the play. You actually have an overload of Cardinals right here. Now, they're going to stunt. Now, if you look right here where the cursor is, where I have it, there's 4 guys that are going to drop off. They put 9 guys. This was troubling the Seahawks all night. The offensive line, for the most part, did a great job, again, against a Cardinals team that loves to blitz as much as the Steelers. They'll throw exotic looks at you, and again, they threw exotic looks. You think that they're pressing right here, but this guy's going to come in, this guy's going to come in, this guy's going to come in, this guy. These 4 guys drop out. That kind of takes away Metcalf, but he does not have the time to search or wait for Metcalf to get open. He tries to go down here, but there's nothing open because he's already being hit by Budda Baker, who comes in untouched. If Seattle could have worked because of these guys fading back, they couldn't do the slants over the middle. But if they could have had a better hot read, this play would have worked and continued the drive. But it did not. I'm all flustered. And this is what happened.
Here he comes.
Got him. Oh, he almost got him. But then it forces Wilson to throw it away. And that pass is incomplete and broken up. Third down and 5.
So let me show you again.
Here he comes.
Got him. Oh, he almost got him. But then it forces Wilson to throw it away. So it's second.
All right, so second down. Now here you go. Now it's 8:24 left in the third quarter. Arizona's giving life. If you were watching a little bit of the defensive plays that I did put on there, Seattle was flying around the ball, but here in the second half, not so much.
Down and 10. The play clock is at 1.
Key play, you could have had a safety. You couldn't wrap up the little turd. You had him! I hate calling them turd, but, they're the car turds. I don't know. It is what it is. But, look, dude, they had him wrapped up in the end zone. And then he does this.
Just get it up. Look out. Avoids a safety for the moment. Chased around the corner and then.
I actually agree with you, Chris.
What?
It was bang, bang.
Now, the play before this, it was actually third down. I don't have that play to show you. But Bobby Wagner gets called from the most stupid call of all time, which was the not a pass interference, unnecessary roughness to a tight end. The pass was thrown behind him. It was a bang play, and he popped him in the back. He didn't do anything, didn't club him, didn't hit him helmet to helmet. It was from behind and in the back, and they called a freaking unnecessary roughness. And even if you heard right there, the ref that they had on hand was like, "That's not an unnecessary roughness call." It wasn't, and because of that, the drive continued, and Arizona got life.
It wasn't clearly late.
Well, there's consensus here. There's another flag thrown here on a catch made by Kenyon Drake.
Now watch the missed tackles on this
It's
drive.
going to be on Hopkins right now. Murray in the pocket, good protection, fires, and that'll be caught. And Hopkins makes the grab. They go right. Little flip here to Edmonds. Chase Edmonds looking for room. Spinorama sets up a first down and goal.
5, but just can't be tackled.
Murray keeps it. And Murray dives and gets into the end zone.
Now, I've picked on Trey Flowers a lot this year, and rightfully so. His coverage sucks, and Ken Norton puts him in bad situations. Anyway, again, he had to come in for Shaquem Griffin because magically Shaquem Griffin had a concussion in this game. That hurt the Seahawks defense, not having Jamal Adams and a few other guys out there. A lot of inexperience. This was just, watch. As the game got further on, the Seahawks defense got more and more tired. Now, we fast forward to third quarter is running out. Seahawks got the ball up 3. It's a nail biter again. Seattle can never win a freaking game straight up and by 10 or more since a while at least. Last year was like this too, all nail biters. And in here, again, we have not had one blowout. It's been all nail biters.
Jones biceps surgery. And gone for the season. Second down and 4.
Nice catch.
Walks the pass, caught by the tight end. Wilson escapes. He slides out as he does.
Now watch this right here. Now see, look, Peterson hits him as he's already sliding. Why was this not a 15-yard penalty? I have no idea.
So often and so effectively. Never miss a start. In a career that goes back to 2012. That is caught here by Lockett. Nope. Backing off. But Baker comes from the side. They take him out of the play, and then the pass goes to Lockett.
They're winding down the clock.
Here comes the blitz. There goes.
Now here's another drive where I believe they lost the game, because now we all know they got the 34 points later on in the game, but here's a drive where you can walk away with at least a field goal right here and make it 30-24. On this play, though, DK Metcalf did not make the right call. Now, Wilson is expecting him to continue to the end zone. This is your lob pass that I was asking for earlier in the video, except the fact that DK pulls back and he runs back to his quarterback thinking that it's going to be a curl route, and maybe if Wilson is on the right, the right move or the right mindset as DK, this is a first down because he's coming back. However, he just lobs it to the end zone. This is an easy pick.
Wilson going deep, and it will be picked up by Patrick Peterson. He's postponed early.
Second interception. So we fast forward again. 12 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Arizona with the ball. And this is just the very next play. The very freaking next play. Seattle gets gifted.
Today due to rain in Texas, resumes at 10 Eastern on NBCSN as the pass is picked off at the 45-yard line by Quandre Diggs. So back-to-back interceptions, one by Peterson on Wilson.
Now that helped because watch Seattle convert their way down to the goal line.
But the big receiver tonight has been Lockett. Cutting around the outside, putting his head down, trying to get the first down close to it. 3rd and 2 with 9.5 to go. Give it to Moore on the end around, and he'll get a hard-earned first down. Made for an exciting game, I know that. 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson throwing, one-handed grab. There goes Lockett again. See the line. Get it to the 1. That's a first down. Hyde is the back. Wilson sliding.
4th down.
Throwing, and that will be.
In fast motion, I thought the ref was making a stupid call. I didn't think that was a touchdown. But if you know Lockett from last year in that Rams game at Seattle, he does these from time to time.
For a touchdown.
Check out his feet.
By Lockett. Did he indeed stay in? He beats Kirkpatrick.
This is a mini moon ball here. Let's see. 1, 2. I think he got it.
So at this point, 34-24. Now I fast forward now. The game should have been over. Seattle should have not let the Arizona Cardinals come down the field. Now, a couple mistakes here, and this will break down why the Seahawks lost this game. Watch the lack of pass rush.
Pass caught. Looking for the first down, but coming up a little short. Going 4 wide now on a 3rd and 12. Murray to the outside.
Murray had all day to throw. If you see that pass, I mean, he could have taken forever. I mean, there was no one even close to him. So they get gifted a 4th and 12 because Murray decided not to run, and there was actually no one there rushing him. He could have waited for someone to spring open. So it moves it to a field goal opportunity.
And incomplete. Took almost 4 minutes for that drive. 52-yarder to make it a 1-possession game. Flag is down.
Horseplay conduct, leverage, defense number 95. That penalty results 15 yards and automatic first down.
Jump in the air, so not only off sides, but took advantage of it by getting on the
Yep,
back.
leveraged over. You can't do that. That's a personal foul.
7-9.
So this gives the Cardinals more life, and then they come down the field. Now, they're still wasting time. When they started the drive, it was 6 minutes. We're down to 2:34. I'm still like, okay, if we give up the touchdown right here, we just need 2 first downs because they have 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. We're still good. Just got to make 2 first downs, and that's all you got to do.
For 87 yards. Flare him out to the right. Pass goes to the 1-yard line, and then it's Christian Kirk trying to get in, and he does for the touchdown.
Okay, so here's the first one.
Play clock all the way down. Fake to him. Russell rolling. He's so dangerous.
This was awesome because he didn't get the first down, and then they wasted another the 2-minute warning. Then they wasted a timeout after they got the first down because it was 2nd and 1. So here's 2nd and 9.
Goes over that one timeout. Here goes Hyde, and Hyde's going to make it a third.
Stretch play worked, got him 7 yards. It's now 3rd and 2. What I wanted right here, and what could have ended the mother effing game with Arizona having only one timeout at this point. You know what that would have been? A naked bootleg back the other way, which is a fake handoff to the running back on the same kind of stretch and have the quarterback, Russell Wilson, run the opposite way and just get the first down. Put it in Russ's hands to win this game. Or do a what is it called? A fake handoff out of the shotgun and let Russell take it. You know, let him win you the freaking game. Instead, Marty Schottenheimer, which I've loved his play calling for the most part, I'd say about 90% of the time this year, he got cute and figured if it worked on the one play just prior, let's run the same goddamn play again. And this is what happened. Again, you get the first down. There is no overtime. The next 2 plays that you run, you knee, and the game is over, and you're swapping jerseys, high-fiving, saying prayer at midfield with all the rest of the teammates, and the game is over. And I'm fine with that. We win 34-31, another butt clincher, and it's over, right? No. They run the same goddamn play, and the Cardinals were ready for it.
And short. He's going to get stopped.
So the punt team comes out, and you say, okay, there's 52 seconds left, right? And Arizona has no timeouts. But with our defense, do I have any confidence in them making a stop? No. 4 plays, and they're in field goal range. 4 plays. And an easy field goal range. Check this out. That's one.
That'll be a first down, 11-yard gain. Larry Fitzgerald makes the catch. 2nd and 10.
This is just lazy.
Murray's going to run, and he's going to take it out to the 47.
16-yard gain.
2nd down and 10.
Again, no pressure, and this drove me nuts. If he's going to throw deep, fine, throw deep, whatever, right? I'm watching 10 to 15 yards. Now you can see right here too where my cursor is. Is that not a start of a hold right there? But again, nothing called, and again, how in the hell is this receiver this open and allowed to go out of bounds? That's a hold. No call.
Catches made by Kirk.
Now, let's just say that was 17 seconds, right? When he gets out of bounds. They don't add time with penalties. Let's just say they called that hold back here at about the 45-yard line, 46-yard line. They go back to the 36-yard line with 17 seconds left. I believe that's your game, but no hold is called on that play. And then the next play, Seattle's caught sleeping because they're thinking, all right, we're going to play slant. And then look at their defenders. Dunbar's 10 yards off. Trey Flowers is watching the sideline. He's way up here. You know, these guys are way too far back, man. And so here comes again.
Instead, they give it to Edmonds, and Edmonds will get a first down.
It's like 15 yards.
Field goal range, but they got to get up there and spike it.
So of course they spike it when no timeouts left.
44. Gonzalez's kick is just inside the left.
And I honestly thought at that point that the Seahawks would have iced him, having that one timeout right there. But Pete decided not to. So we're going to go to overtime now, where both teams have 2 possessions in this game. Here's the first one. And again, he gets dropped. Now, again, at this point, I don't blame the offensive line. You're tired, and they're throwing blitzes at you. And I think this is on Russell because Russell should have just been chucking it at this point. Just let these guys go deep, run some out routes. Let's see what happens. I mean, dude, for the love of God, if you can just get 2 seconds to throw, just cock back, run back 5 yards, and chuck it. Lockett's been tearing him up for almost 200 yards. You give a shot to Metcalf, you don't do either. So here we go.
Middle look out, and Wilson's going to be taken down by Hassan Reddick. And that is the first sack of the game for either team. Play clock at 1. Little pressure. Wilson slides away, fires, caught. Lockett, the motion man. Wilson falls down but gets it off the hide, but there's no.
That was huge.
And he's taken out of bounds. 3rd and 11. Are they coming? They back off. 4-man rush, but Wilson's going to get taken down anyway. Murray surveyed.
So at this point, I'm thinking, crap, we're going to lose this game. You know, we had a possession. Here come the Cardinals.
Hands the ball off. Chase Edmonds to the 50 and beyond. To the 33-yard line. Chase Edmonds. From the 33. In field goal range already. Picking up more, a lot more.
Missed tackles up the middle.
Edmonds again.
Now, here's where it gets interesting. So the Cardinals were lining up. This is a 41-yard field goal attempt. Play clock was running down.
And that kick is
Missed it. Prior to that, he actually made it, but the play clock was running down, and the coach ran in and called a timeout. Now, here's where Seattle loses a game.
He has 2 timeouts if he needs them. And he starts with the throw to the outside and the first down.
Now, you're blitzing at this point.
Makes the catch.
You're blitzing at this point. The Cardinals keep blitzing. They get a little closer, and I'm still feeling good. I'm like, no one – look, Russell's thrown 2 picks at this game at this point, and I'm thinking at this point we got a really legit chance to win this football game. And this is what happens.
Field goal wins the game. Wilson.
All kinds of time, by the way.
Look at the time he has. And finally, he tries to escape and then throws, and Lockett makes the catch. And Lockett dancing around, and Lockett's going to pick up the
That's just a superstar move. Now, why you do this, I have no idea right here. 1:13 to go.
Clock is at 1. Gets it off.
Wait. No, this is not the play. Okay, here's a play that loses a game for the Seahawks. Now, here's a guy. Now, they get the ball finally to Metcalf. David Moore makes a great block right here. This, to me, with all the egregious penalties you did not call on the Cardinals and the ones that mistakenly went against the Seahawks, this one to me is not that bad of a hold. It's 50-50, but at this point, let the guys play the game. This would have been a walk-off dream scenario for Metcalf and just another feather in his cap. Instead,
Metcalf finally makes a catch, stays in bounds.
He pushed him.
On the sideline, he's going to go all the way, but a flag is down. A flag is down at the 42-yard line.
Holding. Offense through 83.
Set that up, and there's the
See?
hold. No question about
that's
it.
not that bad of a hold, dude. He barely held on to him. So here's the thing, too. Here you got 7 or 8 guys by the Cardinals coming up here. What Wilson sees now, I don't know who's to blame, but in my mind, Lockett's right here in the slot, and Metcalf's right there in the other spot as well. David Moore's up top. Or I think that's David Moore. Yeah, that's David Moore, and Metcalf's up slot. Metcalf runs a streak. He just goes straight. Moore, I think, does the same thing, or he goes out. What's his name right here? Lockett. He cuts down the middle of the Arizona logo, so he's like down here. What Wilson thinks is all these guys are coming after him because it's 3rd and 14, 1:04 left. Arizona desperately does not want to give them any yards right here. But what they do is they back up and show different looks, and Wilson gets rattled, and he throws a pass thinking the receiver is going to come down here somewhere around the 45, and it'll be like a screen. He'll have one extra receiver to block these 2 guys. Instead, he throws it right to the fading back linebacker, and that just gave the game away. Hold on.
42-yard line.
Holding. Offense.
Yeah, I brought it back. My bad.
Set that up,
I hit the
and there's
rewind.
The hold. No question about it.
Yeah, whatever, Collinsworth.
Pass is intercepted by Isaiah Simmons.
And, dude, okay, when I heard Al Michaels say intercepted the way he did there, it reminded me of the Super Bowl, and it's in the same stadium. So I was like, dude, that again. And I knew right then and there we were in trouble and probably were going to lose the game.
And Arizona's going to get the ball back with a chance to set it for another field goal with 57 seconds. Cardinals have a timeout. pass to the outside. Hopkins makes the catch.
Fitzgerald's going to have a lot of space here.
There he is, makes the catch. He's going to take it to the 30.
Now, here it is right here. I was praying that they would miss a field goal, but they had him lining up on the right side, and he was kicking a little bit to the left all game, so it was kind of smart. They had him on the right hash mark instead of the left hash mark, and he puts it down the middle a bit, kind of curved it a little bit. I don't know why. I mean, look, I wanted Seattle to kind of call a timeout here, but they hadn't did it earlier, so it wasn't going to happen. So if he did miss it, think about it. There was 16 seconds left on the clock. They would have had the ball at the 45-yard line, and then Seattle would have had a chance with a timeout to maybe take a shot to get a field goal, but it just wasn't for naught. And here's the backbreaker.
I think you save it just in case you get it.
Can he make this one? It is good.
If he was on the left hash mark, that would have missed. So, with all the highlights shown, let's get to some stats, shall we? What do you call it? This game was incredibly frustrating. Let's go over Russell Wilson's stats. 33 of 50, 388 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 INTs. Those were huge. I could have lived with 1 or 2 of them, but that third one was just ungodly. He was sacked twice, both times in overtime, which hurt bad because he was the offensive line. Like I said, offensive line gets an A+ in this game. Russell Wilson, 6 rushes, 84 yards. Carlos Hyde should have got the ball a few more times to keep the defense off the field at times. 15 carries, 68 yards. I thought he did good with a 24-yard run for a touchdown. Chris Carson, 5 for 34. Travis Homer, ineffective, 3 for 10. Tyler Lockett, what can you say? I had him on my fantasy, and dude got me a lot of points, almost got me the comeback win by himself. He had 20 targets in this game. He was thrown at 20 times. 15 catches, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a long of 47. David Moore was the second highest receiver. 3 catches, 54 yards, no touchdowns. So, again, 3 touchdowns for Lockett. Disley, 2 for 38. They should have thrown to him a lot more in this game, in my opinion. Same thing with Metcalf. 2 for 23. He should have had the walk-off 40-yard touchdown. It was for naught. Hollister had 3 catches for 22 yards. Olsen, 2 for 18. Same thing for DJ Dallas in this game. And let's go over to the Cardinals real quick, what they did. Kyler Murray, 34 of 48, 360, 3 touchdowns and a pick. No sacks. He was only hit twice in the pocket. That was terrible, terrible. And once again, Kyler Murray led the way with rushing, 14 carries, 67 yards. Edmonds had 5 for 58. And those 58 yards gashed the Seahawks in that fourth quarter, including overtime, too, after Drake got hurt. DeAndre Hopkins had a quiet 10 for 103 yards and a touchdown, and he was targeted 12 times because the Seahawks were playing 10 to 15 yards off their damn receivers. Edmonds had 7 catches for 87 yards. Let's see. Kirk had 5 catches, 37 yards, and 2 touchdowns in this game. Let me do the team stats real quick. Team stats in this game. Seattle had more first downs, 21 to 17. Seattle was 5 for 13 on third downs. Cardinals 5 for 12. Fourth down efficiency, they were 1 for 1. Cardinals 1 for 2. Total plays even, 82 to 81. Total yards, 572 for the Seahawks to 519 for the Cardinals. Total drives, 13 to 12 for the Cardinals. Our average yards per play were almost even, 7.0 to 6.4. Passing was even, 372 to 360. Interceptions, obviously, the turnovers were huge and costly in this freaking game. Seattle had 3 of them. The Cardinals had 2. They had a fumble and an interception, but those 3 just seemed to be crucial interceptions. Seattle had the ball for 9 more minutes. So, as I wrap up this video, and hopefully you guys stuck around, this was a very tough loss to swallow on Sunday night. I thought Seattle was the better team. I still think they're the better team, and even though as I'm making this video, the Bears are bowing down to the Rams, The division now sits at Seattle being 5-1, with the Arizona Cardinals a half game back, 5-2. Again, Seattle was the toughest opponent they have played. They've played a lot of mediocre to below mediocre teams, and they had that 4-2 record. So I'm nervous about them, but I know we can beat them next time around. I have a really good feeling, Hawk fans. And then the Rams, I'm not scared of at all. They're sitting there at 5-2. They're not a scary team. They played the NFC East, and they got a Bears team that bowed down tonight, so I'm not too scared of them. And then as far as the 49ers, we got the rivalry game, which I will be previewing in about a couple days, probably Thursday. I'll put it out there for you guys, or Friday, depending. They have a lot of injuries, Super Bowl hangover. I'm feeling good about this matchup as well. So hopefully we could turn the tide and get back on a winning streak and get to 6-1. Because if we lose this game to the 49ers in division and go 0-2 in division and be 5-2, 5-2 is a great record. But if you lose 2 games to division opponents, people look at you and say you're not as good as you thought you were. Then also you have the naysayers down, and everyone talking crap. Then the fact that you are going to have Arizona, which has another patsy coming up, and then the Rams are going to probably play someone. It's going to be in a situation now where it could be a 4-team logjam, to where if you would have just took care of business like they should have on Sunday night and then beat the 49ers, they're in a position by themselves. You could have knocked everyone back a game. Instead, everyone's right there on your heels. You got 2 teams that are now just a half game back of you. So there's a lot to digest. I know there is, but I hope you like this video. Like and subscribe if you like my breakdown and whatnot. I put a lot into this stuff, so I'm just trying to grow it. One listener at a time, one subscriber at a time. So go Hawks. Check out my next video. Hawks rock. Let's get back in the win column, baby, and beat them Santa Clara Niners.